Peacemaker finale has ended. It is kaput. And whatever you think about the quality of the episode, what that means for the series in general, that is totally fine. But we are here today to talk about what James Gunn has to say on the Peacemaker finale and how this will have huge ramifications for Superman Man of Tomorrow and the rest of the DCU moving forward. This comes to us from comicbookmovie.com, baby. They say the season 2 finale Peacemaker is now streaming on HBO Max, while Full Nelson, the finale, has proven to be somewhat divisive. The mostly character-focused episode did set up a couple of major DCU storylines. James Gunn has previously revealed that the events of the finale will directly tie in to Man of Tomorrow, but will we actually find out what becomes of the titular vigilante himself? Peacemaker Season 2 concludes with Chris Smith and the rest of the 11th Street Kids, along with Judo Master and Argus agents Sasha Bordeaux and Langston Fleury, founding Checkmate, and a vengeance-filled Rick Flag Sr. establishing his villainous turn by kidnapping Chris and stranding him in Salvation, the Earth-like dimension Flag intends to use as a prison for the planet's metahumans. Gunn was asked if Superman follow-up will directly address Peacemaker's fate during an interview with Rolling Stone. And here's what James Gunn had to say. No. But people should expect that the way that the military and Rick Flag and everybody are working together, and they've created a probably illegal prison for metahumans on another dimension, is going to be a big part of DCU stories going forward. And not just a tertiary, oh, this is Arkham. It's a part of the stories. There's an escalating war, obviously, that's going on between the government and metahumans, and this is a part of it. Gunn has confirmed that the events of the finale are building towards his own take on DC Comics' Salvation Run, a 6-issue miniseries that saw the government exile some of Earth's most dangerous metahuman criminals to the planet Cygnus 4019, also known as Planet Salvation. Separate factions are formed as the villains struggle to survive and attempt to discover a means of escape. If we will be revisiting Salvation in Man of Tomorrow, surely it would be odd if we didn't at least get a hint about what happened to Smith during his time on the prison planet. Rumors persist that John Cena will appear in the movie, so there's a chance Gunn's simply trying to throw fans off the track here. Gunn also was asked if Salvation thread will continue in Supergirl and Lanterns, and here's what James had to say. Both of those things are worked in. We knew both of these stories were a part of what we originally put together. So they're part of the overall tapestry, but they're also their own thing. Supergirl, especially as a space adventure, it's like Guardians. Lanterns is its own thing. Just there's a longer sort of bigger world we're building with all these different pieces, and they'll all come together and intersect sometimes in a story fashion and sometimes just in a, here's another piece of the world fashion. Peacemaker Season 2 follows Chris Vigilante as he struggles to reconcile his past with his newfound sense of purpose, while also continuing to kick righteous evildoers' butts. But this discovery of this alternate world that we found in Season 2 forces him to face his traumatic past and take the future into his own hands. The new season follows Chris Smith, aka Peacemaker, the vigilante superhero, as he struggles to reconcile his past. And we see that Peacemaker may have something to do as he is stranded on this planet, as you can see in this picture. I know you did not get to see Peacemaker Season 2.
Yeah.
But with the themes and the ideas that you see were landed in the groundwork of what's to come in the rest of the DCU, and based off James Gunn's comments on Salvation Run that we could be leading up to this, that it will play a very heavy role in Superman 2. What does this mean to you?
Right off the bat, I just like that we're getting a storyline that's not super iconic, but it's kind of known. I've been begging comic book movies or comic book universes to do that. Take storylines that are really, really good and apply them to live action. It doesn't
Oh,
always have to be the most iconic,
right.
because there are a lot of great stories here, like Salvation, that you can use that now a lot of people can't just predict what's going to happen because they didn't read it or they missed it. Or this helps comic books now. They can put that 6 issues out again and get it to be sold because people are going to want to read into it. It's kind of like what they do with the Harry Potters or Maze Runner or Hunger Games. When they put these movies out, the books sell more because people want to get more into the details of the universe that they did here. And I really love that they're doing that.
No, that's a good point. And I think using Salvation Run is definitely a James Gunn thing because people did not see that coming at all. And he likes to completely circumvent expectations and go 180. And this is a great way to do it. It's more grounded, it's more real, you know, how do I put this? Gathering people that you deem unfit to live in human society and locking them away that could be illegal and could have ramifications on what that means for your nation and the future of your country. What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
and he already dealt
What are
with
we talking
Nazis
about here,
within
really?
that show. You know what I mean? He dealt with Nazis, which is a big thing.
Right. And does it mirror the ideology of Nazis? Like, you thought we were so much better than Earth X, but then Chris gets back and sees that the same themes, the same things are happening in his own universe. And that juxtaposition is really cool. And that's where I think James Gunn's writing is his strongest, when he's able to show these symbolisms in this way and not have it so heavy handed,
Yeah.
in
Like if
my
you
opinion.
know, you know. If you don't, it's just a storyline.
What I also think that is really cool is we are getting Checkmate, which is a secret organization. I have a short video about it. If you guys haven't checked it out, that explains the history and what that means about the secret organization and also the people that have headed this organization, whether it's Maxwell Lord or Amanda Waller. There is a lot of history when it comes to Checkmate and the DCU. Using Checkmate in this way, having Team Peacemaker in these characters that we've grown to love and having them be more of a positive counterpart to the darker, more extreme Argus is a great way to have their own shield agency within the DCU. So I'm really glad that we're not just building out heroes, but we're also building out agencies that are for and against different sides of these strong beliefs. And that's a great way to do it with the agency Checkmate.
And that's very unique to the DC universe. DC has more iconic agencies and villain
Yeah.
organizations. Marvel has some, but they're just not as fleshed out or as known as the stuff that you're talking about here in terms of Argus and
Right.
Checkmate. And the Amanda Waller show, which is still being worked on, was originally called Checkmate. So I
Right.
feel like that leads right into that. So I like that he's setting things up, making people go on these journeys, and then at the end setting up the next thing. It doesn't feel like the season is to set up the next thing. It's the season's telling that individual story, and then things that happen in that individual story sets up the next thing, and then Salvation will be running through Lanterns a little bit,
Yeah.
running through Superman, and then maybe probably even the Amanda Waller show.
Yeah.
Because if she kind of did in Suicide Squad, where she took metahumans and made them the Suicide Squad. So we can see how that all ties in together.
DC's Apocalypse, like they have their
Yeah,
own Apocalypse.
yeah.
In the comics on Planet Salvation, we actually find out that this is a playground for Apocalypse to use these villains and metahumans that were stranded on this planet to plan his attack when it comes to the regular Earth. And so there's actually a hidden meeting and monsters and things on this planet that we haven't seen. And in the end of this episode, when he is stranded on this planet, we hear in the forest roars and screams in the forest, and then it cuts to black.
And this chapter is called Gods and Monsters. So
let's go.
Ties all together.
Son. On top of that, I can't wait. Now, on top of that, I really enjoyed that James Gunn is using Planet Salvation to further the idea and the themes that he set forth in Superman. When Lex Luthor says, "You're an alien, like you're a dumb alien, like you don't deserve to be on Earth," like that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's the same
xenophobia
that will continue throughout the DCU. It's very X-Men. It's very mutants. It's, he's using metahumans as the mutants of this world. And he has the benefit of starting out his universe with this because he owns the rights to all the characters. When the MCU did it, they didn't own the rights to X-Men, to mutants, to any of that. And so they couldn't do that. So I think he is able to see what MCU did and be like, you know what? We have the tools. We have the characters. Let's build it out now and have this be a constant theme, not something that happens later down the road, but something that is continuing to happen as the universe expands.
Yeah. And the fact that he's getting an X-Men like story out before Marvel can get the X-Men off, this is going to be a consistent issue for the MCU where James Gunn is just going for it, right? Like, I didn't watch Peacemaker season 2, but I've been spoiled of some things. They've done the multiverse, you know what I mean, already. They're doing certain storyline. They kind of have like a Thunderbolts with the Creature Commandos, kind of, you know what I mean. So he's just going for it. And if you're along for the ride, you're along for the ride. But he's also grounding it in real life aspects, which I think Marvel Disney has been scared to do. To have anything reflect what's going on in real life. I think Marvel has been trying not to do that for a long time. And I think that's going to be at their detriment.
I think you're right. And I think James Gunn has the benefit of learning the lessons from his previous employer and implementing that into spearheading what the DCU will look like for the next, hopefully, 15 to 20 years. Yeah. That's the goal. We'll see, because the bids are coming for Warner Brothers quickly. As they just announced they denied the bid, which means they're in negotiations, which is scary. But we'll see. Let us know what you guys think. Are you excited for Planet Salvation playing a huge part in the future of the DCU and Superman 2? And are you excited also that we get to have Checkmate, the DCU's own Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and how that will play a part within the universe moving forward as well? Drop a comment below and let us know what you guys think.